Hello, I am Su Sun. Today I want to introduce three terms that are IT jobs, information security, and ethics in IT. First, I want to introduce IT jobs. The information technology or IT fields is broad and deep as industries that have been around for centuries. IT job categories, titles, and specialists abound, so many that anyone investigating IT as a career is likely to be very confused. What's the difference between a network engineer and a network support analyst? Between a web developer, a web designer, and web technology specialist? Just what does a database administrator do? Although labels and responsibility tend to vary from employer to employer, there are some common IT jobs titles and their descriptions. Here I will only talk three of them. First, network engineer. The network engineer is usually responsible for designing new computer networks, actually creating these networks, installing the computers and software that connect to network, and ensuring the network is able to grow and function as needed. The um, second network support analyst. A network support analyst is much like a network administrator in that he or she is responsible for keeping an existing network operating as needed, but has fewer managerial responsibilities. The network support analyst may also be responsible for monitoring how people actually use the network and identifying problem areas and then recommending and implementing solutions. And third, database administrator. A database is any collection of information that a company or organization keep on file. And the database administrator is in charge of organizing, maintaining, and updating these data and creating systems so that people authorized to view, add, or remove information are able to do so as quickly and as easily as possible. If you are considering career training in information technology, you need to understand this job description so you can pursue the education and training that will qualify you for the kind of IT job that fits your talent and personality. And second, I want to introduce what is information security. Information security is a process. Um, is a process and an information system security policy is a well-defined and documented set of guidelines and describe how an organization manages, protects its information asset, and makes future decisions about its information system security infrastructure. Security procedures document preciously how to accomplish a specific task. For example, a policy may specify that antivirus software is updated on a daily basis, and the procedure will state exactly how this is to be done, a list of steps. And security is everyone's responsibility, actually. Although some individuals may have security in their title or may deal directly with security on a daily basis, security is everyone's responsibility. A chain is only as strong as its weakest link. A workplace may have otherwise excellent security, but if help desk workers readily give out or reset lost passwords, or employees let others tailgate on their opening secure doors with their key card, security can be horribly compromised. Despite the robustness, robustness of a firewall if a single user had hardware or software that allows bypassing the firewall. A hacker, a hacker may gain access with catastrophic results. Well, information security involves a trade-off between security and usability. There is no such thing as a totally secure system, except perhaps one that is entirely unusable by anyone. Corporate information security's goal is to provide an appropriate level of security based on the value of an organization's information and its business needs. The more secure a system is, the more inconvenience legitimate user experiences is accessing it. Effective information security incorporates security procedures, technologies, policies, and procedures and products. No collection of products alone can solve every information security issue faced by an organization. More than just a set of technologies and reliance on proven industry practices required. Although both are important, products such as firewalls, intrusion detection system, and vulnerability scanner alone are not sufficient to provide effective information security. And finally, I want to introduce what is ethics in IT. Well, ethics and information technology focus on many parts, such as ethical dilemma, procedure, plagiarism, and piracy that exists where human being, information objects, and social computing technologies interact. The merge of ethics and information technology have been rough going since the 1980s. 1990s. The advent of Napster, LimeWire, and other peer-to-peer downloading networks brought the issue of infringing on artistic property to the fore. NBC's exclusive rights to the 2008 Olympic Games were challenged by bloggers on online parrot who placed the footage on YouTube. The ethical issue arises when dealing with intellectual property in the virtual world is the lens to which content procedures should pursue permission to reprint images and article. Lifting entire articles for a term paper is clearly unacceptable. There are questions from ethicists about the practicality of seeking out unknown artists and writers for something as minor as a blog. And first is ethical dilemma. Well, there are various ethical dilemmas in relation to IT that needed to be addressed. What are and are not ethical issues in IT? In regard to hacker, for example, are they testing the system to performing an immoral action? Will genetic engineering improving the quality of people's lives or start to destroy it? How do we recognize when an ethical dilemma exists? There are indeed many great ethical areas. Plagiarism. Well, plagiarism is where the work of others is copied, but the author presents it as his or her or her own work. This is highly unethical practice, but happens quite frequently and with all the information that is now available on the internet. It's much easier to do, and it's happening more often. And second and third, piracy. Piracy, the legal copying of software, is a very serious problem, and it is estimated that approximately 50% of all programs on PCs are pirated copies. Pirated copies. Programmers spend hours and hours designing programs using elaborate code and surely need to be protected. Also, some might argue that some pirating at least should be permitted, as it can help to lead to a more computer literate population. But for corporations in particular, this is a very serious issue and can significantly damage profit margins. There are many ethical issues in IT, and some of these have been discussed in this presentation. This can be broken down into a number of sub-headings, including computer crime, social implications of the when IT issues, and whatever in intellectual property rights. Some of these can be solved quite easily, while others seem to be almost impossible to solve. In conclusion, I have introduced what are IT jobs with some examples, and what is information security, and what are ethics in IT. I hope you have learned something from my presentation, and thank you for watching.